full of stories. He is quite a guy. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty. He's quite the guy. If you're feeling lonely, come and make a friend. If you need a story, on Sty you can depend. His voice is soothing like a lullaby. Sometimes he brings a tear to my eye. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty. He's quite the guy.
Oh, well, look at that. As soon as it goes live, I lose my blue screen. If you folks will be patient with me for just 1 second, I shall be right back and I'll have that repaired. Well, there we are. I hope you can all hear me okay. I don't know why it does that. And I got a message off to get that fixed somehow, and doggone it just kicks my blue screen right out. I'll get it figured out one way or the other. Hey, I got to shout out all you great folks out there in the chat. We got a bunch of folks out there chatting already. The Cindy Lou was the first one in. Good to see you there, girly. Hi. And then we had Justin Anderson coming right behind her saying hi to me and Cindy Lou. It's awesome. Awesome. There's me, Dibble. It's that Brit again. Hello. Hey, me, Dibble. It's so good to see you. So good to see you. There's Rebecca. Hi, sweetheart. Oh, it's good to see you. There's Tim with Kirk Whipper Voyager Center. Glad to see you. Convoy down for the night on with the show, my friend. Yeah. Yeah. Park for the night. Park for the night. Yeah, those guys are really putting their effort into that convoy. Don't blame them a bit. Native Kutzwa, hey, love you, girl. Oh, I hope you're doing well. I saw you. I only caught a couple minutes. She was doing a video of her heading to work in the fog. You drive safe, girl. You got some of the worst weather you drive in up there. Yeah. There's Step Van Dam. Great to see you. Hey. Hugs from Minnesota. What are we rolling? You'll find out. You'll find out. Sty Story at the half-hour mark. Yeah. Hey, Joe Shipley. Good to see ya. Good to see ya. Welcome aboard. Melissa Spencer. It's been a while, Melissa. Hi. So good to see ya. Oh, and there's Freeman James. There's my brother-in-law. Great to see you. Great to see you. I hope all is well for you and sis. Yeah. Great group out there tonight in the chat. Great group out there. I had someone in the basement, but they couldn't stay. They couldn't stay long. Running Water was down in the basement chatting with me for about a half hour before the show. In fact, I was a few minutes late, a couple minutes late, in getting the show up and running because we were talking shop. Well, his employer, the outfit he trucks for, there goes Sty. That's Sty all over, throwing stuff. Anyway, I should sit in like a baby's high chair so that I can't drop things, you know. But anyway, Running Water is out there on the road, and I spoke to him on Friday, and he was pretty happy. He was pretty happy. He had everything was set up. He dropped his load. He's going to pick up the next load. His schedule was pretty well set up, and he pretty much so had a good idea what the heck was going to happen for the next week. Well, all the best laid plans, you know. He got his load, and now he finds out he dropping his load, and he's got to go pick up the next load. Well, the next load's got 2 stops on it. Well, they messed with him in such a way that his hours are all screwed up, and this next load puts him all the way out to next Thursday before he gets the load after that. He probably would have gotten the load after this next load Wednesday morning or Tuesday night. But now he's got to make these 2 drops heading east up into Pennsylvania, and he won't be able to load again until Thursday. He's getting a lot of miles, but he only gets to drive. He's got one day that he's only going to have 5 hours in that day he can actually drive. Otherwise, he'll be over hours, and they're not allowed. Not allowed. So he's pretty frustrated over that. Pretty frustrated over that. Yeah, you know, when your schedule gets all broke up like that, me devil, look at that. Yeah, you're late because you were flapping your gums with Running Water. Well, it's like I said, we were talking shop about his job, about his work, but we were also talking shop about my job, my work, because YouTube has become a job. Man, I'm telling you, it's become a job. I've got so many pokers in the fire right now. It's insane. It's insane. Not only do I have this channel with 5 live streams a week, but I'm putting 2 additional channels together that are going to be going up. One will be going up, I suspect, before the end of February or by the end of February. Maybe even sooner. We'll see. We'll see. My 3rd channel, that won't be going up until probably midsummer. But that channel is under development. It's being built. It's being put together. Content is being developed. And there's a lot of work that is going into that one. That channel will be more almost like a podcasting kind of approach. And it'll be an animated show. It'll be live studio, but it'll be all animated. It's going to be interesting. I guarantee you. It's going to be really out there. And actually, the Sty North channel will not be directly associated with that third channel. I don't want, because that third channel is going to be for grown-ups, period. The second channel, the one that will go up the soonest, that's going to be enjoyable. And I'll give you more on that channel the closer I get to it going up, because I'll invite all my audience from here to go over and support that channel, see it, to give me your input, blah, blah, blah. And I think you'll enjoy that channel. You'll find a place in your life for it, I'm pretty sure. Me Devil says the way the transport trucking system works in the U.S., I find it a little strange. I have watched a few videos that seem like drivers are treated like crap for the most part. Well, they aren't by they're not treated by like crap by the community, by the citizens here, your normal people. Normal people here love the truckers, man. We love our truckers. I rarely hear anybody complain about the citizenry. It's our government regulators that mess with the truckers. It's always been that way here. It's always been that way. Regulation has always made it so hard on the truckers. The only people I ever hear complain about truckers is, oh, this big truck almost ran me off the road. This big truck got in the way, or that kind of thing. But those are people that just whine about everything anyway. So they whine about each other, not just truckers. Everybody else appreciates the fact that that's what keeps this country running. This ain't nothing. Nobody in Europe should compare European trucking to the United States or Canada trucking. When you live in Europe, if you live in England, they can't even give you a single run that is 2,500 miles. And you don't stop anywhere except for fuel, just to get from point A to point B. The truckers here, there's about 40 to 45% of the truckers in our continents, Canada and the US, that are running coast to coast, and you're talking 2,000 to 3,000 mile runs that they're making. They're not running 400, 500, 600 miles. They're running 3 to 4 times that. Me Dibble, that didn't come out right. It's hard to read. So I so short of truckers, ATM. Why we ended up short of truckers, again, regulation, government. Our stupid government was giving people that were unemployed an extra $600 on top of their regular unemployment checks. They were making more money on unemployment than they were when they were working. And they got to the point where they didn't work for 18 months, and a lot of those people just don't want to go back to work. And it's hard to get folks to go back to work. It's and it's not that people can't get into the trucking industry. And now that they cut those extra benefits out, now there are more people coming back into the industry, The outfit that Running Water drives for, they got their own training program, everything. You can go to them and say, hey, I want to be a truck driver, man. I want to drive trucks. They'll put you in their training program. They'll make a truck driver out of you. So the opportunities are there. It's just that we got to get enough people to go for it. Go to work. They can make good money. Kirk Whipper, we love our truckers in Canada. Yeah, we love ours down here in the USA too. I love truckers all over the world, man. Anybody driving truck, it's not a very easy thing. Everything's spicy. He says, I'm watching tonight. Stomach feels out of sorts. Why would your stomach feel out of sorts? Could it be something you ate? Oh, Phil, you take care of yourself, brother. You take care of yourself. And there, you got it, me Dibble. Me Dibble said it so that we can understand it. We are so short of truckers at the moment. That look better? Yes, it looks great. Yeah. Actual truckers, there's a shortage. Yeah, we need more truckers. Joey, it's great to see you, bud. Great to see you. Awesome. The let's see. Justin saying starting in February, you'll need to go through a specific amount of hours school to obtain a CDL. But that's kind of a misnomer, because if a trucking company is certified trainer, they can put you on, and those hours are your training that they're working with you, and they'll get you your CDL. You go through their training, and then you get your CDL, and then you go on to them as an actual full-time employee, and you drive their trucks. So the system is in place. Yeah, there's no more go in, take your CDL. Heck, back in the day, before I got my CDL, they would allow you to get your CDL with anything 1 ton or larger, pulling any kind of trailer. So you could show up in a 1 ton pickup truck with a camper or a boat trailer behind it and get your CDL. Ain't that ridiculous? No. And I'm sorry, but I know some people wouldn't agree with it, but I believe that you should have to go through a certain number of hours of training before they give you a commercial driver's license. I am a firm believer in it. I went to a 6-month truck driving training course, Dakota County Vocational Technical College. 6-month course. We had to punch a clock. You had to punch in, go through your day of schooling, and punch out. They made you treat that 6 months as a job. Every written examination you had to take, I can't remember what it was. There was 98 of them through the 6 months that you had to take, 98 written exams. You had to pass every single one of them, 100%. You could take them as many times as you needed to, but you had to pass it 100%. Plus, we had to do rodeo. We were out there in every size truck, from a straight truck to a little shag tractor with a little 26-foot shag trailer, all the way up to a 50-foot dry box with a either a big conventional Peterbilt, Kenworth, or a big flat nose International or Freightliner, every type of rig possible. But that course was designed for people that were going to eventually become owner operators. Hello, Mr. Fulton. Let's see here. Yeah, everything Spicy doesn't want to just be a face up in the panel. He, if he had a really good-looking avatar or something. I love the guy. CDL, commercial driver's license. Yeah, like Justin saying that. Gotta have a commercial driver's license to drive a commercial truck. Yeah. There's a couple of levels of commercial driver's license also. It's a little different. You can get licensed to operate a school bus, but that doesn't qualify you to operate a tractor trailer. So, yeah, there's a couple of different levels you can go. I had both. I could drive the school bus or the tractor trailer. I let that license go. I knew I wasn't going to do it for a career anymore. And if you own the vehicle, okay, if you own it and you're using it for your own personal use, not commercially, just for your own use, you don't need a CDL to drive a tractor trailer. If you own a tractor trailer and you're not using it to make money, you're just hauling your own stuff, you don't need a CDL. I've had people argue with me about that, say, oh, yes, you do. Oh, no, you don't. Don't give out BS to people. Look up the regs. It's just like here in Wisconsin. I got people all the time yelling at me, you need to get a license plate on that trailer of yours, that adventure trailer. No, I don't. In the state of Wisconsin, you aren't required to license. They don't even have license plates for trailers under 14 feet. My adventure trailer is 13 and a half feet, does not require a registration or a license plate. It has, they say, yeah, but it's a camper. I said, technically it's not. It's a utility trailer I use as a camper, but it's got a Murphy bed in it. I fold that against the wall and I take all my camping gear out. I use it to haul my camping gear around. I can take all the camping gear out of it, fold the bed against the wall, and I can haul 2 Harley Davidsons in it. I can haul a bunch of furniture in it to help somebody move. It's a utility trailer. And in the state of Wisconsin, if I choose to personally want it licensed, they'll allow me to pay that registration. Well, why wouldn't they? Sure, that's money. But the law doesn't require it. And I've had cops in Minnesota and Michigan pull me over and say, your trailer's not licensed. I said, my truck is. And they go, no, but your trailer. I said, look at my truck. I'm from Wisconsin. We're not required to register and title our vehicle if it's under 14 feet non-motorized. It's a trailer. And they want to argue about it. They have HGV, heavy good vehicle, for everything over 3.5 tons. There are 3 levels, I think. Cool. They should require people to do some commercial driving in a course to obtain a standard license. I think I really, just to get a driver's license, during the COVID outbreak, that was a terrible thing. I thought they were allowing people here, I'm saying that's a misnomer. They're allowing 15-year-olds. Well, at 15, you can get a driver's permit. You can't get your license until you're 16, but you can get your permit. And you got to take the written exam, blah, blah, blah. You got to pass that. And then they give you a permit. So you can drive a car with a parent, with your parent, or a licensed instructor to teach you how to drive. Well, during the COVID outbreak, you take the written exam, they give you the permit. When you turn 16, you take another written exam, and they give you your driver's license because they don't want to put you in a car with one of their test givers because they might get COVID. What? They don't require the driving exam because of COVID. I was furious. That's ridiculous. Hey, Jimmy Pickles is in the house. Good to see ya. Yeah, the road's a very dangerous place. It's a very dangerous place. And I've always said too, I don't like the whole licensing thing. I mean, they can change those rules on us all the time. Come up with standard rules, set them in place. Anything that's going to be changed in those rules should be put out for public comment and should only be changed if they're fully supported by the public. And don't feel bad, me, Dibble. My mother had a driver's license in 1950. She got a driver's license. She drove a car 3 times. And my father, people are going to say, how sexist, but that's the way things were in the day. My father told her, you're never driving again. He took her driver's license away from her. He had bought her a brand spanking new 1951 Chevrolet convertible. It was yellow with a white rag top on it, white interior. It was beautiful for its day. It was a beautiful, man, top of the line Chevy, man. Beautiful. I think it was, I don't remember the model. I really don't. But she only drove it twice. She had her license in her hand for 3 days. My dad, on the 4th day, took it away from him and said, you ain't never driving again. You're scaring the hell out of me. He was the local chief of police, and he wouldn't let his own wife drive anywhere in his town. And they sold her car. She only had her car for about 2 weeks. My dad drove it a few times, take her out, spinning with the top down. But they decided right away, yeah, let's sell the car. She's not going to be driving, sell the car. And she lived to be 87 years old, never got a driver's license again. Hey, we got to say hello to Dutch Prepper. It's good to see ya. And there's Blake. Awesome. Blake Hurst is in the house. And there's Gemma. It's good to see you, sweetie. It's that time. We're going to be telling the Sty story here. Hey. Tonight's Sty story, kind of a funny one. I think you'll enjoy it. So tonight's Sty story. Now we're rolling. All right. Now, this story has to do with a great big tire. Big tire. And I mean big tire. Not as big as this tire. That's a big tire. That's me in running water, sitting in a big old tire off of a big earth mover at in the Mesaba Range in northern Minnesota, where all the iron in the state of Minnesota was mined. The big open pit mines had big dump trucks. Note that's one of the tires off one of the big dump trucks. It wasn't quite that big, but it was pretty close. It was pretty doggone close to that. Well, in our neighborhood, there was a half a dozen of us kids that just kind of hung together real tight, you know. All 6 of us were buddies. There were 3 guys and 3 gals, and we were all just the tightest ones. We did everything together, and we were all within just maybe a year or 2 apart, right? And we got in trouble together quite often. Well, across from my place, where I live, our home, we had the street out front of the house, you know, that neighborhood street. And there were all houses down the same side of the road. On the opposite side of the road, there was a big embankment that dropped off almost 20, well, about 20 feet. And it was a vertical embankment. It dropped right off. And then it flattened out and went out another 100 feet or so. But down at the base was, I'm going to bring this fellow up and let him sit on the side while I finish the story. Good to see you, buddy. I'll get to you as soon as I'm done with the story. So, at the base of that embankment was a railroad, and we had the train would go through twice a day. Well, beyond those railroad tracks, from my house, was what we called the county shops. And what it was the county had a big maintenance building, and they parked all their snow removal equipment, road equipment, all their trucks and stuff at this big county shop. Well, it also had this huge blacktop parking lot, all these sand piles, they had a shed with salted sand, big sand piles all over. And they had this huge hill. It was an old gravel pit that they converted into this shop, county shops. Well, at the top of that hill, there was private property, and there was a fence line, and there was only a small flat area up there, maybe about, you get to the top of the hill and it flattened out for about 20 feet, and there's the fence. Well, us kids were all hanging out, and we ran down to the county shops to play. This is on a Saturday, right? And we're all like 7, 8 years old, right around there. So we're running around this place. You're not supposed to be in there, you know. But on the weekends, us kids attacked that place and played on the sand piles and stuff all the time. Well, so we're down there playing one day. Well, they had taken and replaced the tires on this big earth mover, this big dump truck they had. That tire I showed you was about, 3/4. Well, the tire we found was about 3/4 the size of that. So it was a fourth of that smaller. And there were 4 of them. And one of them, there were 3 of them stacked on top of each other, and one was leaning against the other 3. Well, the 6 of us kids, we get down there, we're checking this tire out. And one of the kids crawled inside the tire and sat down in it. And we realized, holy smokes. And we thought, hey, this will be funny. So the rest of us, the 5 of us, stood the tire all the way up with this kid sitting in it, started rolling it with that kid in there. And he's just hanging on up and down, rolling them around on that blacktop. We thought, well, that's pretty cool. That's fun. So we all took turns. And it was like a free carnival ride, man. You get to ride inside this big tire. Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, that big hill was calling to us, man. We looked up that big hill and we're going, God, do you think we can get this tire up that hill? I wish they had GoPros back then, or cell phones with cameras. 6 kids, this giant tire, and we're pushing that puppy up that big hill. You could only roll it about maybe 8 or 10 feet. You'd have to stop, take a break, take a break. We're just all up underneath that tire, holding it, taking a breath. Let's roll it again. And you roll it another 8, 10 feet, and that's as far as you can go. Stop, take a break, take a break. Kept rolling it. Well, from top to bottom of that hill, I'll bet you it was a good 300 to 400 feet. And at the bottom of that hill emptied right out into like a big gravel area, compacted gravel parking lot kind of area, and then onto that blacktop, which was another 300-400 feet across. Well, so from the top of that hill all the way to the other end of this facility, you're probably talking close to, I'd say, 900 feet, 800-900 feet. Well, eventually we finally got that tire to the top of the hill. And there we are at the top of this hill, and that tire's standing there just like a big trophy, right? Well, then we get into a 6-way fight over who's going to get to ride the tire on the way down. You would have thought we would have been smart enough to just say, let's just roll the tire down the hill. That's cool. Let's just watch it roll down the hill and see how far it goes. Oh no, we wanted somebody's got to ride in that bucket, right? Well, me and my buddy Harold, it came down to a coin toss. We figured it out. 2 people could ride in that tire. That it could handle 2 people. Well, we were tossing the coin just through elimination, and it ended up being me and Harold got to go in the tire. We got in that tire, and I had, this is terrible. This is terrible. I had Harold in front of me, right? We're in that tire, and he's sitting, and he can't even get between my knees. That's how narrow getting into that tire was. If you maybe had less than a foot between your knees. So his back was right up against my knees. And we're both holding onto the sidewall of that tire, you know. And the other 4 kids, it's their job to keep that thing standing upright and get it rolled off the edge of the hill. Well, we got in that tire and we shimmied way up as far as we could comfortably, so that as they rolled it, just before we go off the hill, we'd be sitting pretty well upright. And we gave them the go-ahead. We said, let's get rolling. Now we're rolling. When we come off top that damn hill, it seemed okay at first because it's slow, you know. And you rolled up over and it's just like, wow. By the time we got halfway down that hill, you're going around so damn fast inside that tire. You can't even, your vision is totally blurred. You just can't even focus. Harold screaming like a pigeon caught in a rat trap, and he's yelling, I'm going to throw up. So I've got this freaked out because I'm in the tire doing about 35, 40 miles an hour down this big ass hill. I'm totally freaked out. And now I'm in a total panic because I got a moron that's going to puke inside the tire with me. And all I could picture was puking inside of like a clothes dryer or something, you know. And I thought, if he pukes, it's going to be chain reaction. We're going to be nothing but a pukey tire when we get to the bottom. Going down that hill was pure hell. I'm telling you, it was pure hell. And it was a smooth hill, so it wasn't bumpy. But when we hit the bottom and it flattened out, that tire hit the bottom and it bounced and went airborne about 10 feet in the air. Now, this tire had to have weighed 250 pounds. Plus, you put these 2 kids in there. Between the 2 of us, you probably added another 125 pounds. So there's 300 some pounds hitting the ground, bouncing up in the air 10 feet and hits the ground again. And it bounced about 6 times like that. Boom, 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 boom. And we're in a different position every time it hit the ground because we're still going round in it. When it quit bouncing, we thought, thank God. That's when my vision was kind of coming back. And I realized this big brick building they park all their trucks in, it's headed right for that damn building. It hits the building, the side of the building, ricochets off of it. Kaboom. So you have that side impact. Harold's knuckles get just about completely rubbed off against the building because he's hanging on to the outside of the tire. We ricochet off the building. The tire goes right across that blacktop parking lot, just keeps rolling, hits the curb at the end of the parking lot, bounces about 3 feet in the air, and now you're airborne, but you're still spinning, and you're thinking, oh my God, at least we're done because it's going to land in the bushes. Well, we didn't really think about what's at that end of the parking lot. It wasn't good. It's a swamp, a great big old swamp. And that big heavy ass tire goes down, lands in that swamp. All of a sudden, everything that would not quit moving stopped. I mean, it stuck itself right in that muck, and all that swamp muck came right inside that tire on top of me and Harold. I was kicking him and pushing and shoving, and I got my ass out of that tire. I couldn't stand up straight. I was on all fours climbing up that hill, that little hillside, back to the parking lot. Got on the parking lot, and I looked, and here comes those other 4 kids. They had just, at that point, they had just made it just about to the bottom of the hill, big hill, and they're coming across the parking lot. And I sat there on the curb waiting for them. And then all of a sudden, I felt somebody next to me. I turned and looked. And I looked at Harold and I said, oh, God, tell me I don't look like you. He had cattails and all kinds of swamp bugs and shit all over him. And he sat down next to me and he goes, that was nasty. I said, oh, yeah. He goes, no, that back there is nasty. I said, yeah, that's swamp water. He goes, no, it's nasty. Now, I threw up all over down there. I said, oh, thank God you did it after I got out of the damn tire. You know what them 4 kids said when they got up to us? They said, that was awesome, you guys. Help us get that tire out of the swamp. It's our turn. Now, mind you, I was only 7 or 8 years old. Guess what I said? What came out of Sty's mouth? What a bad boy I was. I said, you can all go fuck yourselves. And I got up and I walked home. The hell with my friends. I didn't have any friends left. No, I don't like any of you. I'll never do it again. Never do it again. So I get nervous when I'm doing something with somebody else and they say, hey, come on, the clock is ticking. Let's get rolling. Whoa, wait a minute. If we're going to be doing any rolling, I'm not involved. No, I won't. I don't like getting involved if there's rolling involved. So there you go. There's your Sty story for the week. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah.
That is awesome, man.
Did you enjoy?
Oh, yeah. And, when we were all kids, we always, loved to do silly things like that, and experience something once where we'll never do it again.
That's it. When you're a kid, you're invincible.
Oh, yeah.
You don't really think of the consequences till after the act is complete,
Wow.
And that's why I tell people, so many people go, oh, Sty, we love hearing your stories. I wish I could tell stories. And I tell them, you can just tell me about your childhood. I guarantee you there's a ton of stories buried in it.
Yeah.
Just life. Life is the best story. Naj Rukui. Wow, what a ride. Yeah, I'm telling you, that was a wicked ride, though. That was the most wicked ride I've ever taken in my damn life. And I've been in some rides in cars and trucks and things that would scare the bejesus out of you. But I tell you what, you get inside of a big enough tire and you roll that thing down a hill and take a ride for about close to 1,000 feet and land in a swamp. That's a ride you don't really forget. I was glad to see that topic popped up last week after my Sunday last week. I pulled it. She came out of the hat, and I'm going, yeah, I like that story. Yeah, let's get rolling. Yeah. I got a few stories about that same hill. Yeah, that big hill was today. That whole county shops has got a 12-foot hurricane fence all the way around the whole property with barbed wire at the top to keep the kids out of it. And I told them that's the nastiest thing they ever went and did was put that damn fence up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we did have one kid passed away there on that site because of an accident. And there's a Sty story for that one, so I won't go into detail. But we did have one kid that actually passed away. But other than that kid passing away, we only had a couple of broken bones. Otherwise, it was just bumps and bruises, you know. But literally hundreds of kids have visited that county shops and played and climbed all over the big V plows. They'll have like, they had over 20 of those big V plows parked along the one side facing my house. So when we went across the street, looked down that embankment, and then down the next embankment to that county shops, there's all those plows lined up. Us kids would ride around on our bikes, and you'd carry a bucket or a basket, and you ride around looking for baseball-sized rocks. And you'd just get loaded up with them. And then we'd all make plans and we always did it on a Friday night because we found out if you do it on a Sunday night or any week night, you'll probably get the belt across your butt. But on Friday nights, we'd stand up right out front of my house, the chief of police's house, and we'd throw them rocks at them big V plows. Man, when they'd hit those plows, boom, 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 and when you got a half a dozen neighbor kids throwing them big rocks, the plows were just the right distance that you could always reach them with the rock. And the whole neighborhood had to listen to that for about 15, 20 minutes until some parent would come out, you little monsters, I'm going to kick your ass. And we take off. But typical Friday, and then you go 2 or 3 Fridays without doing it, and they think, oh, the kids finally learned. Oh no, we're just taking a little break. We want to catch you off guard, you know. Yeah, it was always after dark, and it's right at dark time when they're going to start yelling, "Time to get in the house!" But everybody's sitting around watching their evening TV, and then all of a sudden they got to hear boom, 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 boom through the whole neighborhood. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So how you been? How you doing?
I'm doing really good. I got this new channel I'm working on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's going to be my second channel. And today I downloaded between little short cut videos anywhere from 5 seconds long to 30 seconds long. There was 180 plus of those I downloaded. I downloaded 187 still photos, and I downloaded a little over 200 songs.
Wow.
Some of them instrumentals, some of them vocals, blah, 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 all for that new channel. So
you're busy.
I was busy all day and trying to structure the channel, getting it all put together, trying to create it, get it all created, and getting it set up for StreamYard and all that stuff. And right now, it's it it's what I would call dead on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's dead on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm not even putting the name of the channel out or anything because I don't want anybody. I haven't seen anybody do anything over there. There's nothing there. There's no content or nothing.
Yeah.
So nobody's going to sub to it or anything of that sort. But that's what I was doing most of the day today, and trying to finish up around here. I'll be done here this week. I'll do it, and I'll be done in the house.
Nice. Getting all that stuff unpacked, huh?
Well, there's a lot of stuff where I just haven't a clue where the heck it's going to go.
Right.
So I made room in our attic. We've got a nice attic here. It's not a really big attic, but it's nice because it's got a man door on it, a regular door. And I went in there and rearranged what was in there, and I got a spot for the last of my things. So those things, I got 1, 2, 3. I got 3 more. I got a bin and 2 big tote bags full of stuff that'll go up in the attic, and then things are done for the most part. And then it's just I got a little bit to finish up in the kitchen, and then it's just scrub and clean the whole damn place. And running water, he's always saying. Well, and then that was something today too. Is I probably put 4 hours into the channel work, 4 to 5 hours, but I put 2 hours into this new 14 channel mixer that I have that Running Water purchased for my channel. That thing is a beast. When I opened that up, I told him, I said, my God, that thing weighs 8.5 pounds. And tomorrow I get the stand for it. It's going to sit at like a 45-degree angle right here in my studio under the right-hand monitor. So the way it's set up, I can run 8 independent microphones. I've got 8 auxiliary jacks. So actually I can run 14 of those on separate channels, and I can control all of the sound. It's got limited, it's a little limited sound effects, but I've got a soundboard.
Oh, cool.
That'll be hooked up that does different type of sounds. Oh, that's another thing I downloaded today, and that's just a fraction of them. I downloaded 125 sound effects. There's probably about 3 times that many more that I'm going to download, all in their own separate filters that are folders that I can filter through the mixer and have accessible anytime I want them. So yeah, it's getting a little out of control. I told Running Water, I got a full-time job here on YouTube. So, but it's fun. I'm having fun. That's what counts.
Yeah, and especially if you're starting another channel.
Yeah. Running Water's all excited because he knows when I die, that could be tomorrow. He gets all this. So that's all it is. And he don't have to set it up. It's all going to be set up for him.
Yeah.
And he knows how to run all this equipment better than I do, other than on the YouTube StreamYard side of that part of it. You'll learn that in a flash. You have a good night, me Dibble. We'll catch you later. Thanks for being here for the Sty Story.
Yeah, have a good night there, Debbie. It's Dibble, me Dibble. Yep, I'm going to take off now. I'm going to go make some shrimp, and I bought a lobster tail, and I'm going to do some onions and peppers, and I'm making some homemade refried beans in my Instapot, and going to have myself a nice little tortilla with some Spanish rice.
So you're putting all that together?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's going to be delicious.
Oh, my gosh.
The homemade beans, I'm telling you. I always tell people, if you don't have an Instapot, I'm telling you what, man, you're missing out. Instapots are amazing. Normally, refried beans take a long time. You got to soak the beans and all this other garbage, right? No. Rinse them, put them in the Instapot, hour later, done. Throw a
Really?
pepper and some onions and some seasonings. Man, and some broth.
Really?
Oh, it's amazing.
An hour.
Yeah, 1 hour. Like,
Oh man.
I just turned it on because I forgot to turn it on, and I'm going to be late now for eating dinner. But I was like, I'm going to go up and talk to Sty. Go see his channel. Why this?
I'm glad you did.
So,
but I bet you that pot would be great for like a pre-prep for making homemade like Boston baked beans.
Yeah, it does everything. I did baked potatoes yesterday, and baked potatoes took about, I had 7 of them, 18 minutes.
Okay, that thing's called what?
Instapot. It's a pressure cooker.
It's Instapot, and it's a
pressure cooker is what it is.
Pressure cookers are cool.
They're different from when we were younger.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was just gonna say, there's a Sty story that'll be coming up eventually on about the old pressure cookers and just how damn dangerous they were. But yeah, they're nothing like they used to be. Nothing like they used to be.
It does everything. I love it. Well, I'm gonna go. Sty, have a fabulous week. Sorry I couldn't hang out very long. Glad I got to come up for a minute.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You betcha.
You bet. You take good care of yourself. Say hi to the better half for us all.
Yeah, she's down there. She's telling me I'm cranky, and I need to stop being cranky because I'm a little cranky tonight. Or a couple days. I don't know what it is. She tells me. She's like, "You're a little cranky."
Yeah.
And then I stop it.
That's it. She's your cranky meter. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. You take care.
You betcha.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun having Mojo up. It's always great to see him. Always great to see him. I'll tell you what. It's been an hour. I've got to show off my members. They're the greatest people in the world. And it takes less than 50 seconds. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back. Now that's a great bunch of people now. They really are. They are such awesome people. Such awesome people. Yep. Life goes on. Now we're rolling. Hey, Kitty. Good to see ya, Kitty Purrs. I love that YouTube name. That's a cool name. I love it. Yeah. The YouTube has been pretty quiet lately. It's been pretty quiet. Don't forget to share it out, guys. We're gonna go for another hour, I'm sure. I can't go very late tonight. Believe it or not, I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow. But he's not a bone doctor. Not a sawbones. Eye doctor. I gotta see the doctor tomorrow so I can see. I haven't been to an eye doctor in, let's see, 2022, 2017, 5 years ago. Ouch. Yeah. And it was about this time of year, too. So, yeah, it's been a solid 5 years. At least, I know I got eyes. I can see. Just can't see good. That prescription's very outdated. Very outdated. I hope the heck he can get me a good prescription. He's going to be disappointed, though. I'm just going to get him tested and get my prescription. I'm not buying glasses from that group all the way. I get my glasses from Zenny. The prescriptions are always right on. And I can get a pair of glasses. They're like bifocals, but I don't have any trouble seeing right up close. Hands length out. Like if I go without my glasses, I can see this computer screen. I can read them. But I get beyond that computer screen. That's when my vision goes to crap on it. So I don't know if I'm going to have them do like I did with this last pair. Just give me a prescription for the nearsightedness so I can see things far away, or go ahead and give me something that helps me with the mid-range stuff and the distance stuff. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's just that I had bifocals before. I go with the ones progressives without the line, I know. But I was like this all the time, so I could read. And I hate that. So I went with this last set, no bifocals, because I can see, as long as the screen's pretty close to me, I can see pretty good. So, hey, look at there. Chowser's in the house. Chowser's in the house. Quick look here. No. But Chowser's saying, let's see here. Boom. Chowser says, hi, of course. Hello, Sty North. Hope it isn't too cold up there. Heat wave. Got up to 21 degrees today. I went out there today, started both the trucks, took Running Water's truck for a drive around in town. Just keep everything moving and running good. Mine, I just let it sit idle for about a half hour. Run. And because I'm taking mine out tomorrow. But 21 degrees, man, it's been single digit temperature for almost 3 full weeks and sub-zero every night. And we had a few days where it was sub-zero throughout the whole day. So 21 degrees feels like spring, man. I mean, wow. And then it's supposed to, I believe it's tomorrow. Either Monday, tomorrow, or Tuesday, it's supposed to get up to 32. Well, that's right at freezing. I mean, things will start thawing out. If there's any sunshine with that 32 degrees, things are going to thaw out. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. Then it's supposed to dip again. Then it's supposed to come back up in the 20s. It's only supposed to dip for like 2 days, and then it's going to come back up into the 20s. I can handle that. When it's in the 20s, I like that. I like that. I don't hear the furnace run as often. That was a bummer. Cinda Lou says it was in the 70s today. Yeah, Cinda Lou likes to rub it in, She loves to rub it in. Sty, guess what? It's a little chilly down here at 65. Yeah. Yeah. Love it. I'm glad Cinda Lou gets that kind of weather. temperature. Yeah. Charles was asking how the Knight's treating Phil. Fill him in, Phil. Phil's last video post, I haven't had a chance to watch it, and I will be watching it the night before I go to bed. I want to get the title right. Spicy Lovers Pizza. That's the Pizza Hut pizza, I believe. Spicy burger and Apollo hot sauce fiery concoction. That sounds pretty damn interesting. So when you get a chance, make sure to check out Phil's channel for that new video he put up. He'll eat it in. But then when I saw that, just the word concoction, and then he says, I'll be watching tonight. My stomach ain't quite right. I wonder why. Just look at his last video. I wonder if it's something he ate. Yeah, I just wonder. Justin says it's in the 30s again next weekend forecasted. Yeah. Yeah, there you go, Justin. Time to catch up with Phil. Yeah. I never miss it. The minute I see it, even if I got something going on, it's OLED. I got to watch it. Is when he's doing something with his granddaughter. She's the cutest little bugger in the world. And she's such a champ. And feed that poor kid fake chicken. At least it tasted good enough that she was good with it. And it had the right texture. Yeah. Nuggets is nuggets, Give me my chicken nuggets. I love her. She's, yeah. Cinderloo says Sty in the summer. I like that. In the summer, when it's 120, I'll let you know that too. I used to run down to New Mexico and hang out, over a few summers. And I found out on there that dry heat. There was a day we were in White Sands National Park, and we made everybody down at the White Sands area did it. You make these sand surfboards, and you surf down the sand dunes. It's a blast. They're like snowboards, but you use them on the sand dunes, and you use usually like countertop laminate to make your sandboard on it. Well, we were down there, we're just partying hardy, and drinking a few brews, surfing the sand dunes at White Sands, and this goofball decides he's going to throw a whole big cooler full of melted ice, right? There's still probably a few hundred small little melted ice cubes in it, but it was almost all water. And he dumped that whole cooler on top of me. I passed right out. Woo! My eyes rolled back in my head. I passed right out from the shock, the cold. It was 105 degrees in the shade that day. I come to within a minute, less than a minute. It just knocked me out, and I came to. Madder than the devil. I'm soaking wet. That cold water. In less than 10 minutes, I was bone dry. Nothing was damp anymore. It was all dried out. I said, that's freaking amazing. There wasn't even any wet sand where he dumped it on me. It dried out too. It was gone. I kind of liked that. I kind of like that. Yeah, yeah. I get what you're saying there, Chowser. It's, there's times where, man, I got a task I got to get done. I'll see those videos pop up, and I try to burn it to memory, get back and check that out. I get busy, distracted, blah, blah. And then there's a few times that I have to go to folks' channels and binge. And that's why I don't leave a lot of comments, because a lot of times I'm binge watching stuff. I always leave that thumbs up and make sure I watch the whole video, get them the watch time, give them that thumbs up. I've been down that road with the watch at least so much and leave a comment and give it the thumbs up, then subscribe and do it in this order and that order. I don't know. I've taken so much YouTube advice that, and I think Phil is at that point too, is where it's like, there's been times I've put hours upon hours into a video and it performed worse than any of the rest of them. There's videos I didn't give any effort to, didn't think much of it, and just popped it up. It's got thousands of views. I followed all the rules that everybody said you got to follow for YouTube, and the videos don't perform. And then I break those rules, and all of a sudden I got something that's got over 1,000 views. So, so I don't know what works and what doesn't. What works is the fact that if you're not having fun, you shouldn't be up here. Yeah, Chowser says White Sands isn't a joke. That place will suck the water and life from your bones. You have to stay hydrated. Oh yeah. You sure do. Yeah, Justin, you are right. You are right. The Sty Times, I did the topic nude yoga, and I did not. It wasn't about the actual, it wasn't showing nude yoga, but boy, did it perform. It's over 1,000 views. Usually I get about 100, 150 views on the Sty Times. That bugger hit 1,000 within like less than 3 days. And it's because of the title. Nude yoga, Sty Times episodes. They don't see the Sty Times episodes. They just say, nude yoga, I'm going to go look at some naked people. They get on there and they go, oh no, he's just talking about it. So a lot of clickbait. That's an hour-long show, and the average viewing time of that show is usually about 18 minutes, 18 to 20 minutes, which is pretty good. Getting close to the 50% mark. Not nude yoga, that's down to like 8 minutes average view time. They're only watching a few minutes of it, and then they realize he's not going to show any nude yoga. Nude yoga. It's no naked people, so they quit watching. But that's kind of the way it is. Yeah, Charles, you're talking about White Sands and having to stay hydrated. That was the big deal there. And boy, did we. For every beer we drank 2 bottles of water. Oh man, did we drink the water. When I say bottles of water, that was back in the day when you couldn't buy bottled water at the store. You can go to the store and buy bottles of water. Nobody was selling bottles of water. You could buy big glass gallon jugs of water, and they were glass. What you did was you had those great big Coleman and Igloo coolers filled full of water with a block of ice in them. And I think we had 4 or 6 of those along with us, and a couple cases of beer in coolers also. But for every beer, you drank 2 big glasses of water, or bottles. We had thermoses that we fill with water and drink out of, but staying hydrated was important. And that's one thing I'd like to do. I don't even remember that mountain range name anymore, but where I stayed was at the White Sands Missile Range, right on the base. I had an uncle that was chief warrant officer there, stationed there. And he had a beautiful home. The military treated him well. He had a really nice home. And the other officers thought he was crazy, but he wanted the last home. They had one part of that base where that whole neighborhood was nothing but officers, right? Right next to that, there's a street that kind of intersected there. And the next, about the size of 2 city blocks, was all these smaller, more standard style homes that were all enlisted men, not officers, non-officers. He wanted the house at the end, closest to the non-officers. And that's because even though he was an officer, he was a party animal, Justin Anderson says, for every beer I drink, I have 2 more. Yeah. I used to love beer, man. I love beer. But I couldn't drink a lot of beer. When I was quite young, until I was in my mid to late 20s, I could drink as much beer as anybody else. I was a good beer drinker. But then I got to the point where I just couldn't stand the feeling of fullness. I felt so full from drinking beer all the time. And I switched to hard liquor. Typical night, I might have 1 or 2 beers. Otherwise, I was just drinking mixed drinks all night. I didn't drink the beer because of the heaviness of it. But I loved it. So I always had 1 or 2 beers every night. But no, switched to the hard stuff just for that reason. And now, today, I'm the same way. I'll sit and enjoy 1 beer with the guys, and they'll drink 3 or 4 while I nurse the 1. Just because of the fullness I feel from it. I don't know. I just don't like that feeling. Love the taste of the beer though. I wish I could drink more beer. But I still like my mixed drinks too, but I just can't drink them fast. I got to drink quite slowly. So can't drink like I used to. I handle it about the same. The stomach just won't hold it. I just can't get the volume in me anymore. But that's life. I'm old, so I'm slow. Yeah, I mentioned I gotta go see the eye doctor tomorrow. Justin says beer for the winter, liquor in the summer for me. Well, that's different. See, I was the other way around. All winter, I'd be drinking brandy and whiskeys and if I'm sitting in a bar, I drank a lot of gin. I liked my martinis and my gin gimlets when I'm sitting in the bar. But I was usually snowmobiling when I was a young man. And that was brandy and whiskey out on the sled. They had drinker right from the wineskin. Fill the old wineskin up with brandy or whiskey. Drink that, out snowmobiling. Come summer, man, once I'm in a t-shirt, pair of shorts, man, it was drinking beer all summer, man. Boy, did we drink beer. We had a couple of farm towns nearby that would have summer celebrations of sorts, where the carnival's in town and blah, blah, blah. The town's doing something, And I played on a small town softball team for a while, and we go play in these other communities and that. And there was 3 little farm towns not far from me that their summer activities, they'd have a beer garden. That's one thing in Minnesota growing up and Wisconsin. You always got to have a beer garden at every festival, Well, these 3 communities, they had beer garden where you paid a cover fee walking in the door. And that's all you paid was that cover fee walking in the door. You didn't pay per beer. You paid walking in the door, and you got to drink all the beer you wanted. We'd head over there, and sure enough, they got to know me. Oh, Jesus, it's Sty. And they'd tell me, we don't open the beer garden until 11 o'clock in the morning. What are you doing out here at 9:30? I'm going to be first in line. Now, you come back like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, because that beer garden be open right up until about midnight, Because they knew I'd get in the door of that beer garden, because you had to pay each time you went in there or left. And in the beer garden, they had the restrooms there and everything. You could even get food. There were, at least at each of those festivals, I'd take at least one day where I'm going to the beer garden. I'd pay to get in the beer garden. I wouldn't leave. I wouldn't leave till my friends were either carrying me out or they said, we're shutting it down, we're throwing you out. I'd be there all day long, drinking beer all day long. Yeah. Loved it. Boy, those were the good old days. Yeah. Justin says, good old blackberry brandy on the trail. Yes. Oh my God. I could fill a tanker truck with the amount of blackberry brandy I drank out of that wineskin. Snowmobiling, winter camping, winter snowshoeing, winter camping. Always had a wineskin full of blackberry brandy. A lot of people said, how could you even drink that stuff? That's terrible. That stuff, you got to mix it with something like it. You need seltzer or ginger ale or 7-Up. Mix it with something. Oh, heck no, you don't want to mix that with none. You drink that you drink that right out of the bottle. That's good taste of stuff, man. Love that stuff. Love it. Yeah, I think I did the Sty story. I don't know. But you remember Flamin' Blue Jesus? The way they used to make them when I was young, I don't know if they make them that way anymore, but they take like a double shot glass and they fill it with blackberry brandy 3/4 of the way, okay? And then the top quarter, they top it off with Everclear and they strike a match to it. It's got this blue flame going. And you're supposed to either blow that flame out or put your hand over it, right? Real quick, and it'll snuff that flame out, and then you take that shot. I ordered one of them, and don't order those if you're already intoxicated. I ordered one of them, and I'm BSing with the guy next to me, not paying attention. And I grabbed that shot, took a shot. My face caught on fire. I had mustache and a goatee. My face caught on fire because I didn't blow the fire up. So well, that blew it all over the bar and caught 2 seats either side of me. Man, it was all on fire. Lit the bar up. Yeah, they threw me out. I wonder why. Thought I was busy patting that beard out. Whoa. Yeah. Some people can't handle the bite from liquor. Yeah, some people don't. Yeah. I found with blackberry brandy that I didn't think there was any bite for that. It was just so smooth. It just, I don't know. Pulse check, guys. Pretty quiet out there. Yeah. Hey, Old Man River, it's good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, he's asking, did you know that you can harvest white birch sap and process it like you would maple sap? The trees should be at least 12 inches around, 14 to 16 inches, 2 taps for sap. Yeah, a good tree about, I'd say 12 to 18 inch tree. Yeah. I got to actually have birch syrup growing up because my granddad would make it. He would render birch a lot. He had a sugar bush, so he made a lot of maple syrup throughout the spring, in the season. And at the same time, he had a second sugar shack that he made the birch syrup in. The only problem with birch is the ratio is so much higher on maple versus birch. I mean, it takes so much birch sap to make the equivalent in maple syrup. But it was, I don't know how to explain it, but the birch syrup, it didn't have like a maple flavor per se, but it was good and sweet. I mean, I enjoyed it. And he'd do something that was very rare, and he'd keep rendering it down, just like he would with the maple, but he made a lot of that. Make maple sugar candy, right? Render it down to maple sugar and mold it into candies. He would do the same with the birch, but in such a smaller quantity because it took so much sap to get it to that stage. Well, the birch candy, I loved it. I thought it was great. Lawn Dog saying, hey, Sty, I'd be here, but I'm kind of tired. I had a rough day working on the car, so I'm kind of tired, but I'm going to be listening. Well, good for you. Thank you for being here, Lawn Dog. I know how you feel, man. Yeah, if you're wrenching all day, you can be pretty wore out. Justin saying tapping is just around the corner. Yeah, here. Yeah, we're still 2.5 months. We got a great big sugar bush up here that friends of mine, good acquaintances, tribal members, they belong to the local tribe. They have a huge sugar bush. And they'll render up probably about about 400 to 500 gallons of maple syrup every season. And it's pretty cool because it's 5 families, and they divide that maple syrup equally across their families. Then their families will sell some of it. They retain enough to get them through to the next harvest, but sell all of the rest, right? Well, I'm lucky because they usually give me, there's one family that they always see to it. I get a pretty good sized bottle. It's about a quart's worth of their maple syrup. I used to get 2 gallons every season because I go out and help them on the sugar bush. Yeah, I go around and I would work as a gatherer, that you're just hauling sap into the sugar shack, and then I do a shift in the sugar shack a couple times a week. I was working close by, so I would get off work and head right out to the sugar bush. I had my outdoor duds with me at work, and I get out of the suit, put my outdoor duds on, and head to the sugar bush. Yeah, loved it. Oh, look at there, Jadzia. Hi, sweetie. It's great to see you, Jadzia. Oh, yeah. Yeah, old timer talking about how big the birch were when he was a kid. We've got them up here, man. Oh my God. I could take people into places where we've got birch that are over 30 inches. They're huge. They're freaking huge. And birch don't have longevity. They only live 25 to 40 years. 40 years is pretty much the max point on it. And now don't get in an argument with, well, I know where there's 150-year-old birch. Oh, bullshit. And if you do, it's got a fence around it, and the Audubon Society won't let you even pee within a mile of it. Birch don't live. Rarely do they live beyond 50 years. Very rare. But they start getting to that 20-inch mark that old man River's talking about. They are awesome trees, man. They're beautiful, beautiful. And you can tap them buggers. You can get a lot of sap off of a 20-inch tree. Darn right. Justin saying last year was early for us. I got wishful thinking for early spring. Me too, Justin. Yeah, I'm hoping for early spring. See, there's a lot of people that have been shocked when they say, oh yeah, I tapping birch. That's nothing new to me. That's, and they go, well, how'd you find out about it? Well, I don't know. I was about 5 years old when I got my first piece of birch candy that I can remember. And I know I had it before that. My mom said my grandpa used to stick a piece in my mouth when I was a baby, and I was trying to chew on stuff because I was teething and stuff. He'd give me a little piece of birch candy to chew on. And it was even though he ran a sugar bush, it was a rarity because it takes, like I said, it takes a lot more birch sap to render down to that than it does for maple. But and that's the thing too, is people don't realize that. I see it here in town. People have maples tapped, they'll tap maples every year. In fact, right down the street from where I'm at, this half a block, there's a guy with 6 big maples in his front yard. 4 of them are sugar maples. 2 of them are hard maples, and all 6 are tapped. And I stopped and talked to him last year. And he goes, "Oh, I see you're looking at my taps." I said, "Yeah, you got a good system going." He's got the tubular system, and it all gets dumped into a single tank. It works great. And the you got to watch with some of them. Popple. My grandpa said, stay away from the popples because it comes out bitter. It's got a bitter afterbite to it. But you can. It's edible. It's perfectly usable and edible, but it's not as sweet. It's got kind of like a bitter background to it. I don't know about box elder. Never heard of anybody tapping one. And yeah, this fellow with the hard maples that are tapped, he says, I don't get as much sap out of it. He says, I get about half as much as I do out of the other 4. And I said, but you are getting sap. He says, yeah. And I said, and you just mix that with all your sap, right? I see it's tubed into the main tank with all the rest of them. He goes, yeah. And I said, awesome. I mean, why not? Now the silver maples one, that if you take just silver maple sap and render it down, that syrup has a little bit of a bitter background flavor to it too. I don't know why it is, but the silver maple isn't as sweet. Yeah. I gotta. In fact, kind of glad that topic came up because now it's fresh on my mind. I gotta give this family a little jingle on the phone and let them know that they're the top dog of their family. I mean, he was definitely the king on the throne. He passed away 2 years ago, and I quit working the sugar bush with them 7 years ago. And I was getting a couple gallons every year, even the years I didn't work the sugar bush. Well, my health went to hell on me, 6 years ago. I had a heart condition, and they just kept giving me a couple of gallons. Well, when the old man passed away, his boys, they're still struggling as to who's going to be the top dog of the family. Well, none of them get to be top dog yet because Mama is still alive. She's the matriarch. She sees to it that I get a quart every season. She takes it out of her own supply, and that's sweet of her. Yeah, Shiva. Yeah, Lori. Yeah, missed the stories. Stories always at the half-hour mark when I start the stream. Hey, Pest. That's pretty cool. Pest Hunter Outdoors, it is good to see you. JV Outdoors Raid. Awesome. Great to see you folks. Look at this. I'm going to pop all these folks up one after another. Pay attention, folks. Check these people out. Look at here. We got Ben. Roll. It's a Boxy Raid. Tina Ladybug. Great to see you. A and B Outback Adventures. Amanda. Awesome. Kyle Wacker. I love the name. It's great. Charles are out there yelling hello to everybody. There's Bloxy right there. Hey, Boxy, great to see you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want everybody check these people out. Go find them. Hey, oh wow, look at these folks coming in. Loki, Trapping Adventures. Am I missing anybody? I hope not. I hope not. All these great people coming in. The the rights trapping. Awesome. Awesome. You're great, folks. How long did it take me to grow this beard? Believe it or not, if I shaved all of this off, right down to skin, everything, within 18 months, I'll be right back where I am. Takes about a year and a half, and I'll grow it right out to where it is. This is as long as it gets. It hasn't gotten any longer. Once it got this long, it hasn't gotten any longer. Yeah, 18 months. Yeah, JV. Yep, yep. Hey, there's Mark J. Johnson outdoor or Larson Outdoors. It is so good to see you. So good. Boxy, I want to thank you so much. Brian Rainworth, awesome, beautiful, great folks, man. Look at it. Tons of folks coming in. That's Coastal Fever TV. Awesome. Welcome, all of you. Dunlap 2423. Awesome. Anti at Jack. What's my biggest beaver yet? What was her name? No, oh, sorry. No. Uh, Actually, the largest beaver, I don't remember how many inches it was stretched. The largest I ever got was out in Montana when I lived out there in northwestern Montana. And he scaled out at 42 pounds. He was a beast. He was a beast. 42 pounder. Yeah. 96 pounds, Justin says. Wow, that's a big beaver. What was her name? Hey, yeah, if you will, hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe. Come on, follow us over here. We have a blast over here. Great people, great people. I and my live streams, I tell stories on Sunday night. I tell a story. Ben's asking, do you have a possum market? No, we don't have possum up here. They've seen a few here and there, southern Wisconsin, but up in my neck of the woods, no possums. No. We used to have a really good raccoon market up here, but the coon population has dropped off considerably. The Loki's asking where I'm at. I'm in northern Wisconsin, Ashland, Wisconsin, right up on Lake Superior. Right up on Lake Superior. Yeah, Ben's asking the same question. The folks want to know where I'm at. Yeah, I'm right up on Lake Superior, northern Wisconsin, Ashland, right off the Apostle Islands. I hosted for the whole season, 6 months. Actually, I went, most hosts don't go beyond 3 to 4 months, but I hosted for a full 6 months for the Chequamegon National Forest. I had 2 campgrounds, for the first 4 months. The last 2 months, I had 6 campgrounds that I hosted. Gave that a try for a season. This year I won't be hosting. I have too many other irons in the fire. But the Chequamegon National Forest is a little over 1 million acres, and it's packed full of wildlife. And I love it. I love it. And if you go to my channel page and you look back at the old days of Camp WTF, you'll see I used to run a wilderness primitive skills camp called Wilderness Thriving Fundamentals, Camp WTF. Loki's from Tomah, Wisconsin. We got lots of possums. That's what I hear is downstate. There's plenty of possum. My daughter and her other half and all her kids, they live down near the Minnesota border, but southwestern end of the state, and they got possum. And yeah, we got no possum up here. Wow, 130 pounds, 6 foot nose, with tip of tail, 6 feet long. That's big beaver, Justin. Yeah, we have marten up here. Actually, we have marten recovery programs going on up here right now because the damn fishers were wiping out the population. Came that close to them having a bounty on the fishers. Overtrapping and the fishers were pretty well wiping out the marten. So now we have a couple of areas where we have marten recovery programs, and the martens are just coming back wonderfully. And the trappers are excited, the DNR is excited, the tribes are excited. Our marten are coming back. Love it. Okay, Old Man River. Old Man River's got to go lay down for a bit. Yeah. You take care of yourself, Old Man River. Yeah, don't worry about it. JP's blaming Nick for being bad luck. Oh, JB's great, guys. I tell you, yeah. If you're not following JB, you really need to. You really need to. He's pounding her for fish with Nick and didn't pan out. What would you say marten fur is similar to? It's kind of unique to itself, but I've always felt that marten fur was kind of like a cross between kind of like a cross between a fisher and an otter. And Loki says, please help us get to 500. We'll make video in a couple of days for baits and lures giveaway. Oh, awesome, guys. Take note. I'm going to flat that up here on the screen for a little bit. There you go. Kind of close to a bink, Justin? Yeah. Coyote Whacker says, I've been to Green Bay once. Beautiful. There's salmon everywhere in October. Yeah, we got a couple of good salmon creeks up here that I love going up there for. I haven't been up on Salmon Run in about 8 years. I'm going to get another smoker. I had 3 beautiful smokers. Got rid of all 3 of them because I wasn't living on where I could use them. I went into apartment life for a long time, so I got rid of those things. But now I'm back to where I've got a nice backyard. I'm going to be getting me another smoker. Just a reminder, guys, get over and follow Loki Trapping. Do it. Do it. Looks like Loki's going to make it worth your while. Oh yeah, Ben, we got muskrat galore. Muskrat galore. In fact, where I was born and raised, down by Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota, I was trapping muskrat down there as a kid, teenager, and it got to the point where it was out of hand, man. It was out of hand. My trap line on a 3-day rotation was turning 150 to 200 rats. I was spending every other day doing nothing but skinning and stretching rats, man. And back then, at that time, we were getting about $1.20 a piece for them. But that's a lot of money, man. I was making sometimes $400 or $500 a week as a teenager during the trapping season. Then the pelts went right to the floor. They were paying 50 cents a piece for them, and I got out of it. Sold all my gear, everything. I trapped coon for a while. I was making out okay on coons, but yeah, low-key trapping. Let's get over there. Everybody support them, follow them. The coyote whacker saying smoked salmon is the bomb. That's why I got to get a smoker back in the backyard. If I don't get a commercial one, I'll build my tent smoker again. I still have that tarp and all the poles and racks. So I made a bushcraft smoker that I could smoke about 40 pounds of venison at a time in it. And I would smoke fish in it also. And there's nothing like catching a local salmon and smoking it up here at home. Oh my gosh, yes. I like mine honey smoke. I got a sweet tooth. Trapped all the way up to Carlton, Minnesota. Yeah. Yeah, Mark, the flowage. This summer, I'm going to be that's the hard part this summer. I'm not going to get the kayak near as much. My aluminum boat's going to be up against the garage. I have got so much work to do here that I'm going to be taking these little 3-day weekend camping trips. I'll take the kayak with, and I'm going to put it in the water and do a little fishing. But I'm going to get down on the flowage a little this year, I think. Catch me some big northerns, maybe a muskie or two. Yeah, Justin saying great fishing in the area, some big muskies too. Oh, I'll tell you what. Chippewa flowage just takes a little bit of work. You can get into some pretty nice muskie in flowage, boy. Yeah, JV, pike are his favorite. I used to love it. We used to go up northern Minnesota boundary waters. Man, it would drive guys nuts. We'd be canoeing, and we got a portage we got to get to, and this and that. I was always dragging a lure behind me on my canoe. And when they'd see that old canoe moving around in circles, they'd go, damn it, Sty's onto another northern. And I was trolling for pike all the time. I loved it. I just love catching pike. I love eating them too. But I never eat a pike over 28 inches. If they're 28 inches and down, I eat. I love them. I love to have a plate full of fried up pike. Oh, and I love the hammer handles, man. I've gotten into batches of where, man, I was catching all the hammer handles you could possibly get your hands on. And my ex-mother-in-law, who has passed away now, God bless her. Oh, man, I'd stake them out, give them to her, and she'd pickle them for me. Some of the best pickled pike you ever ate. Oh, my Lord. Hey, Tipsy Whiskey Shenanigans. Cheers to you, too. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, Justin, they are underrated. Nice, firm, white meat. Oh, my God. And they got such good flavor to them. Yeah. Yeah, if they get too big, they're not as good. They're not as good. I've had some that were like 30, 32 inches, and the meat was kind of soft on them, and they get kind of gamey, you know. Hey, Timothy Parker's in the house. Good to see you, brother. I don't pickle it. My ex-mother-in-law did all the pickling. I'm going to have to see if I can get her recipe from one of the family and maybe pickle some of my own. Ben's saying pickled eggs are great. I love my pickled eggs. So it goes back to my beer days, sit in the pub and get a pitcher of beer. Have them throw 4 to 6 pickled eggs in a bowl for me, and I'd sit there drinking my beer and nibbling on pickled eggs, watch the ball game, just BS with the guys at the bar. Oh, yeah. Rebecca, sorry, I'm back. Was watching football. Bengals and Rams are going to the Super Bowl. Yes, ma'am. I kind of anticipated that. What's my favorite trap? I don't really have a favorite. You know, for predators, I like the conibears. I use conibears for beaver. I usually channel trap my beaver, you know, all water sets, all in their working channels. And I use conibears on them. But if you look at my old videos, I did one on a primitive conibear. Yeah, it's under the same theory, but it's all made out of bushcrafting. It's all made out of natural materials. Snapshot. I like to now anymore. I like to trap primitive snares and primitive conibears and deadfalls. Deadfalls I haven't had a lot of work with. Kyle Wacker's got to back out. It was nice meeting you, man. I'm going back after this stream and I'm checking out every one of your channels, see if I'm subscribed. If I'm not, I will be. And I'll watch it. Thumbs up something of yours right away. I won't get it all done tonight, but over the next couple days I will. I'll get you all on my list. Justin saying, made pike once for people who only eat walleye. They said it was the best eye they ever had. Helen told them it was pike. That you know, and that's it. Is my ex-wife was one. You couldn't catch enough walleye for her to eat, and you couldn't go through the hassle of cleaning enough pike for her to eat. It didn't matter either one. You said we're having pike. Oh man, that's great. We're having walleye. Oh, that's great. She didn't care which one. She loved them both. So do I. Me too. Oh, I love. That's another thing. Working for the Native American tribes for going on. It was about 27 years worth. Lots of tribal friends. Lots of friends with the tribe. During the walleye harvest for the one tribe here, they net their walleye. They don't spear them. And oh my God, I get some of the best walleye fillets from them. Oh my Lord. I'll have to check with my net, see if there's going to be any walleye available this season. I'm sure they'll put me up with a few meals worth. Yeah. JV's got to run to the store. You take care, JV. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Hey, Freeman James, you have a good night, buddy. We'll see you, brother. Give Sis a big hug for me, would you? Oh, Mark J. Larson. I did the same thing with beaver. Everyone said it was the best pulled pork they ever had. I love it. I love it. I used Long Springs for a while back in the day. It's like I said, I don't know. I currently own no traps. All my trapping equipment's long gone. Everything I do is primitive now. But back to Mark talking about prepping beaver, and people thought it was pulled pork. Hey, Justin says beaver ain't bad. Don't know those Canadians eat the tail. I love split pea with beaver tail. Split pea soup with beaver tail. Yeah. Ate that as a kid. Oh my God. Grandpa would make up a big old pot of split pea with beaver tail. Yep. But talking about feeding somebody something and they don't know what it was. Well, I invited a bunch of friends over. This is before I got married back in the 70s. And, invited a bunch of friends over. They come over, I had my girlfriend there, and they brought their girlfriends with them. And we're going to have a big dinner, game dinner, right? Well, they knew it was squirrel hunting season. So they knew doggone well what I was fixing. I was going to have squirrel and dumplings. I made squirrel and dumplings all the time. Loved it. It was like chicken and dumplings, And they liked it. They liked squirrel and dumplings. Well, I knew they were all coming over, so I'm getting meal ready, right? I popped the freezer and I'm looking, I'm going, oh no. I've got 4 couples plus the 2 of us. That's 10 people to feed. And guess what? I've only got 4 squirrels left in the freezer. But I did have about 14 muskrats. So I decided, what the heck? I'll throw some muskrats in there. After we got done eating, the gals, they kind of split the squirrels that were in that big old roaster. They kind of split the squirrels. The guys were grabbing those muskrats, man. And they said, well, when they got done eating, they said, where'd you get the fox squirrels? You had to go way downstate or out of state to get them fox squirrels over there in Minnesota. You're never going to find enough fox squirrels anywhere near us to have that many to put them into something like this, a big meal. I said, what fox squirrel? They said, the fox squirrels and the squirrels and dumplings. I said, there are no fox squirrels in there. They said, those aren't gray squirrels. It was real easy to tell the gray squirrels from the fox squirrels because they're so much smaller. I said, sorry. And I had ate one of the rats. And I said, sorry, guys. I said, those were all muskrats. Oh, it was hilarious. It was hilarious. Can't believe it. Can't believe you made us eat muskrat. I didn't make you eat nothing, and you were licking your fingers. You were just so happy until you found out they're muskrat. I said, if made properly, they're good. They're doggone good. Yeah, Cinda Lou says, I'm a fishing gal. I gone salmon fishing on Lake Huron. Now I fish on Cannon Lake every Friday. And Mom cooked the fish to have fish fry once a month. White strips and sunfish is what we get here. There you go. White stripes. Yeah, I like my Lake Superior salmon. We get several fish up here, you know. With the smoked fish, you got the whitefish, the trout, the salmon, the herring, all the smoked fishes you want. Right here in Ashland, we got a place called River Rock. They've got a smokehouse that smokes specifically for them, and you can get all of those fish there. Awesome smoked fish. And fresh fish daily, because we have tribal commercial fishermen here, so there's commercial fish available fresh daily. But we have all of the panfish. We got the pike. We got sturgeon. Love smoked sturgeon, man. Love it. But you don't want these great big old granddaddies. You want to get yourself some 3-footers, nothing over 4 feet, but a 3-footer's great. Anything 3 foot and down. And you just cut them into steaks. Well, use a sawzall, man. That's the way to go. You cut them into steaks. And the only bone in the sturgeon is his backbone. And you take your smoking wire and run it right through the backbone and hang them in the smoker, those steaks. You smoke them up, and it's solid. It's just their outer skin, that little backbone. All the rest of it's meat, and it's the best. Smoked is awesome. And then, of course, all the panfish. We got crappie. We got all the sunfish, bluegills, pumpkin seeds, all the sunfish. We got awesome perch. We've got, all the panfish. You got smallmouth, largemouth bass. We got crappie. Awesome crappies up here. And smelt. Justin mentions the smelt. Oh yeah, you got all the smelt you want. Yeah. Eat all of it you want too. You ain't getting me to eat that crap. I don't eat bait. I used to eat smelt every year. Smelt fry. Gotta go to Cornucopia, Wisconsin for the big smelt fry right on the lake's edge. Blah 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 blah. And sit there and eat the bait. Now anymore, I go down and I get myself about 4 pounds of smelt when they're running. And I bring them home and I put a half a dozen of them in a Ziploc bag and I seal it up, throw it in the freezer. And I get a bunch of bags of them and I use those for pike bait all the next season. Yeah. See, smelt was too much to me. It's just too much dinking around, I guess I would say. You know, to go, I used to love going smelting nights. Yeah, I think I had about 250 foot of net, and I usually get half a dozen guys to go with me, and we'd get the big bonfire going on the beach, and a lot of beer and music playing, and off we are smelting. We love to smelt, man. I haven't smelted now in probably 10 years. I've been down to the beach, had a few beers with those that are smelters. If you're not a competitor, oh yeah, boy, they always got a beer for you. We used to have great pan fishing, but the wheelhouse fish houses have destroyed it. Huh. The But yeah, smelting, we got a tradition up here. You get people from out of town, they ain't never smelted before, you tell them. You know, you got to be initiated. It could be a little guy. You pick the smallest one out of that first pull. Once you do your first pull, you dump them all in the buckets and you tell the newbies that have never smelt a day in their life, and they went out there and got their waders full of water and got nice and cold and caught themselves some smelt. First pull, you got to eat one alive. So you pick a little guy. You just put them in your mouth and swallow. I would say 7 out of 10 guys fall for that shit and do it. And then they go, oh my God, they'll ask you, how did it go when you had to do that? I've never done that. But you're a smelter. You go, no. If you're from here, you don't do that shit. That's stupid. Then, yeah, you catch smelt with a minnow seine. You use the seine. It's a net. They just use a big net. And they run along the shoreline. And you get out there and you just walk that net around and bring it back to the shore and scoop them up. And some guys got awesome drop nets. You drop off the end of piers. They got big old poles out, pulleys on them, use their drop nets to swim over the net, and they hoist the net up and they'll catch the smelt that way. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Because you only fish them at night. I mean, yeah, you're wasting your time trying to catch smelt during the day because they do their runs at night. It's just the way it is. And it'd be nice to have an early spring this year. We don't have a ton of ice this year. That ice could go off early, which would be sweet. We've had 3 years in the last 10. We didn't get any smelt up here to speak of, hardly any. They were here. Couldn't get to them. The ice hadn't gone out, and they ran. All the creeks and rivers were open, but the bay was frozen solid. So they ran under the ice up the creeks and rivers. And so you can't, if the ice isn't out, you can't get them. Yeah. Justin says come in droves every weekend out of the city. Yeah, we have one area here in town that all the locals came to. It's a gentleman's agreement. Let them fish it. But they come into our areas, we'll chase them the hell out. And I mean, they do. I mean, I haven't seen it get actual violent yet, but I've seen it threatened quite a few times. They get pretty ornery about you ain't smelting in our area. You got that end of the shoreline. That's it. Well, there's a big public parking lot, and you'll see it. It's just packed full of trucks and campers. They're all out there with, you'll see hundreds and hundreds of coolers sitting there, and they're all down. There's a pier there. They're smelting off the pier. They're smelting on the beaches for about 200 yards either direction. And it's all the non-locals down there smelting. Don't go anywhere else. You ain't going to be welcome because the rest of the shoreline's covered with locals. And this part of the bay, 99% of the shoreline is privately owned, so they don't have much choice. No, there's no limit on smell. No, we don't have a limit on smell. Yeah, the run in Duluth is hit and miss. Yeah. Ben loves seining and cast netting for bait. Yeah. Ben's asking, who's still watching? Yeah, we got a dozen people still hanging out. Probably at the bottom of the hour, I'll wrap it up. I was telling folks earlier, I got an eye appointment tomorrow. It's supposed to be at 8:45 in the morning. Well, I get a text message late Friday afternoon says, we need you in here at 8 o'clock. What? 8:45 was too damn early as far as I was concerned. I wanted it to be about 10 o'clock in the morning, start the morning off and get into the day and then head over and do that. Oh no, first thing, So now I got to be there by 8 o'clock. So that means I got to shake it out by 6 so I can have a couple cups of coffee and get into my day. And I got some things I got to wrap up yet tonight before I call it a night. So. What fish does smelt taste similar to? I don't know. They taste like smelt. I mean, they taste like fish. That like any fried fish, the way you prep them, you dehead them, slit the belly out. A lot of guys don't even slit the belly, just finger down the cavity, pull the guts out, and it's ready to go. Flour it or batter it, however you're going to do it, and fry it, deep fry. Hey, Mark, I got to go to bed. It was great being here. Have a great week, everyone. It was great having you here, Mark. Awesome. You have a good night, buddy. Yeah, you eat the bones, fins, and all. Yeah, deep frying that whole little fish. They're only that damn long. A big one. Yeah, little guys, a couple inches up to about a big one is 6 inches. And yeah, you just grab them and eat them like fishy French fries. Yeah, dip them in your favorite tartar sauce or cocktail sauce or whatever sauce you want. Chow away, just chow away. Eat the fins and all. Because when you fry them up, all of that becomes just soft and brittle. Yeah, very easy eating. Hey there, Dr. Smith. Salute to you too, buddy. It's great to see you. The Charles are throwing a fish up there. Yeah. Fish sticks, but better. Well, and they're better for you too than any old fish stick. They're better than any kind of processed fish. That's for sure. You're getting all of the good nutrients out of the smelt. I can't say anything bad about smelt except I don't want to mess with them. I don't want to clean them and prep them and batter them and fry them. I don't want to go through all the work to get a plate full of little fish. I just bag them up, use them for bait to catch me a nice northern that I can fillet out and have those nice big flaky fillets to eat. Sorry. I don't fault anybody that loves smelt. Ben's asking what I target trapping wise. I hope you're asking everybody else because I just don't do a lot of trapping anymore. I don't. What was it? 2 years ago, I got a trapping license just to help a friend of mine out take a couple of otters out of his pond. They wiped out his whole pond. He had his private pond on his place, and he had it stocked with sunfish, bluegills, and they were big. They got big, man. Those sunfish loved that pond. It had great sand flats in it, great weed beds. They were spawning. They were taken to that pond. They loved it, and that pond truly matured over about a 10-year period, and it got to the point where it wasn't packed full of stunted sunfish. He had his grandkids there all the time fishing. All the little buggers are getting them the hell out of there constantly and doing a lot of catch and release. He wasn't letting people come in there and catch and keep. And if they were keeping, they were keeping, good eating size, but not the big boys, and taking the little ones and getting them the hell out of it. The little ones were being fed to his chickens and used as fertilizer in the garden and all kinds of things. Yeah, but the pond was perfect sunfish pond. Then the otters showed up. The otters wiped the pond out. You can't catch a sunfish in that damn pond now. They literally wiped the pond out, and it didn't freeze out because the pond is aerated. He aerates his pond. Those otters got in there, and they wiped out the whole pond. Well, a biologist from the tribe I worked with, and he's worked strictly for their fisheries, for their hatchery program. I asked him about it. He goes, "Oh yeah, we've had a lot of private ponds that we stock trout in, and the otters have gone in and wiped them completely out." They said, as long as you got them otters around, you ain't going to raise any fish in that pond. Well, he wanted rid of the otters. And I said, okay. So I set up a couple of primitive conibear traps and got both them otters, and which was beneficial to me. Turned one of them into a pipe bag, ceremonial pipe bag for a tribal member that he could put his pipe in. That big, what the white man calls peace pipe. Traditional pipe, 7th generation pipe, and he wanted a new pipe bag for it. And so I made him one out of the otter hide. I got these otters using, believe it or not, canned oysters. They went right after them, man. Went right after. I got the first one 2 days after I set, and then the second one, it took him about a week before he got brave and he went into that set. Yeah. Yeah, along the shoreline, Lake Superior, we got all kinds of otters. Yeah. Yeah, they love it along the shoreline here, along Lake Superior. Got them all over the place. You go up the creeks, all of the spawning creeks, rivers locally. You always got resident otters around. There's not a lot of trappers target otter in the area, so we see plenty of them around. That's a lot of sets, 250 to 400. Yeah. Yeah. I ran 250 one for about a month and a half. I worked my ass off. So, um, yeah, I tailored back to 150, and that was easier and manageable, and it was turning me enough that it was worth it. It was worth it. I wish I would have kept all the money I made actually during that time. Hey, there's JDS Canuck. It's great to see you. Great to see you there, JDS. Hey, what does Sty stand for? Me. Sty, just the name. Yeah, yeah, just the name. Sty North. Yeah, we even got a mailing address. Um, doesn't stand for anything except this crazy old fool. And there's not another Sty North out there. I had someone arguing with me. I know it's Sty North. I know the guy. I said, okay. What towns he live in? Well, I'm pretty sure he lives in such town. And he's about this age and this and that. So you can find anybody nowadays. You can find anybody. And I've got connections also. No, there isn't. No, there isn't. You Google Sty North. I'm the first one popping up, along with Sty's in your eye. But there's no other Sty Norths out there. Still got all your trapping equipment, eh, Justin? That's yeah, my old trapping days are for the great majority are over with. You know, all I can do is tell stories now. I just don't have it in me to be out there trapping anyway. At 65 years old, I got that coming up. 12 days from now, I turned 65. 12 days from now. Yeah, make it the big old 6'5". Not that birthdays really freaking matter when you get to my age. It's just like, oh, thank God I made it another year. Oh boy, yeah, bravo, bravo, yeah. Party's over. Yeah, they sing you happy birthday and you fall asleep halfway through it. And you wake up the next day and you go, did I fall asleep hearing happy birthday to you? Yeah, you fell asleep during your own birthday party. That's because I don't give a damn anymore. Yeah, birthdays, yeah. What? Wow, what the heck am I going to celebrate a birthday for now? It's kind of late in the game. But every day is a good day when it comes to Sty North. I like to make the best of every day. And today's been a good day. I got a lot of things done today, and tomorrow's another one. Tomorrow, Tuesday. No, yeah, it's Monday. I'm all screwed up. Sty Times at 5 p.m. Central Time here at the Sty Shack. Come on over for Sty Times. We'll have a great topic tomorrow night. It's only an hour-long show. And then I'm off for a day. Tuesday, I'm off YouTube all day. And I'm back again on Wednesday with another Sty Times at 5 p.m. And then we're here Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central Time for Around the Campfire. So try to catch one of those. It'd be great to see you there. So we're going to be wrapping it up, guys. It's that time of the night. I got to shake it out early in the morning. I got about 3 hours of crap I got to get done at midnight. 12:30, and I got to shake it out at 6. So if I'm lucky, I'll get a 5-6 hours of sleep, somewhere around there, and I'll be all set for tomorrow and tomorrow night. That'll be fun. So it was great tonight. We had an awesome raid. Lots of great folks here. Love y'all. Get outdoors. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. And Sty will see you next time. Until then, I'm going to dance on out of here with that pretty girl out on the porch, and we'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.